Breaking. London is burning, not with fire, but with a political inferno that threatens to shake the foundations of the monarchy and rewrite the rules of democracy itself. Mayor Sadiq Khan, in a move unprecedented in 3 centuries, publicly confronted King Charles and declared, "Your time is over." Those words reverberated across the nation, sparking outrage and fascination in equal measure, setting the stage for a showdown that could end Khan's political career, ignite the largest protests the capital has seen in decades, and fundamentally alter the delicate balance between democratic authority and royal influence. The city is tense, the nation divided, and at the center of it all stand 2 men whose conflict may define Britain's political landscape for generations. The spark for this unprecedented clash was the London Citizenship Charter, unveiled by Khan just 5 days ago. Branded as a progressive initiative, the charter mandates that every business in the city adhere to strict diversity agreements or face fines of up to $50,000. The mayor's rhetoric left no room for ambiguity. London will lead Britain into the 21st century whether the establishment likes it or not. To Khan's supporters, it was a bold statement of modernity and inclusion. To critics, it was the latest in a series of increasingly autocratic maneuvers that ignored public consultation and ordinary citizens' struggles. King Charles, long celebrated for maintaining the monarchy's neutrality, heard those words and acted decisively, employing crown intervention, a legal but rarely used constitutional power that allows the monarchy to challenge local authority. Charles sent a formal letter to Parliament questioning whether Khan had overstepped his mandate. By releasing the letter publicly, the palace transformed what should have been a quiet constitutional review into an open confrontation with the city's democratically elected mayor. The unprecedented move sent shockwaves through Westminster, leaving politicians scrambling to respond. Experts described the king's decision as the most politically assertive use of royal authority in decades, perhaps the boldest since Queen Elizabeth II's most discreet but decisive interventions in government policy during her reign. Khan's response was immediate, theatrical, and incendiary. At precisely 4 p.m. yesterday, he stood outside City Hall, flanked by cameras and a supportive crowd. His hands gripped the podium, his voice trembled with anger and conviction as he denounced the unelected monarch for undermining the democratic choice of Londoners. "The crown has forgotten the people it claims to serve," he declared, challenging centuries of tradition in a single statement. The crowd erupted in cheers, waving placards and chanting his name, while inside Westminster, constitutional scholars, MPs, and palace aides alike were left aghast. Experts labeled it an extraordinary challenge to royal authority, the most direct attack on the monarchy since the English Civil War. Labour MPs scrambled to contain the fallout, confronted with a mayor who had seemingly discarded all caution, protocol, and party discipline. Eyewitnesses described scenes of chaos behind the podium. Khan's press secretary and senior aides flailed, gesturing frantically, mouthing urgent pleas to halt the mayor's escalating rhetoric. Khan ignored them completely, feeding off the energy of the crowd and intensifying his attack. He questioned the scale of royal wealth, the number of palaces owned by a single family, and the disparity between elite privilege and the struggles of ordinary Londoners facing skyrocketing rents and homelessness. Social media responded instantly, with hashtags trending worldwide, viral videos of the speech circulating across every platform, and millions of viewers weighing in with reactions ranging from outrage to admiration. The human consequences of Khan's political gamble became brutally clear within hours. James Morrison, a 73-year-old Falklands War veteran who had lost his right leg in service to Britain, was evicted from his flat to make way for social housing under the new policies of the London Citizenship Charter. Forced to sleep in his daughter's spare room on a modest pension of $900 per month, Morrison told reporters, tears streaming down his face, that he had fought for Britain only to find the country had no room for him in its own capital. His story spread like wildfire, shared hundreds of thousands of times in a single day, highlighting the stark contrast between Khan's progressive policies and the harsh realities experienced by vulnerable citizens. Leaked financial documents added fuel to the fire. City Hall had spent millions on diversity consultants, high-end retreats, and lavish events. One weekend at a luxury Surrey spa reportedly cost $18,000, an amount that would have covered the rent of dozens of ordinary London families. Vulnerable citizens like Morrison and retirees like Sarah Jenkins, a 62-year-old retired nurse, were left to struggle. Jenkins posted a video that went viral, accusing Khan of prioritizing image and optics over the well-being of constituents. Within 3 days, polling data confirmed the public's backlash. Khan's approval rating among voters over 50 fell to a shocking 19%, while his support among younger voters under 30 dropped from 71% to 53%. Even traditional labor strongholds began to waver under the weight of public discontent. King Charles, however, refused to retreat. At a high-profile royal reception attended by Commonwealth leaders, he delivered what palace insiders describe as the most overtly political speech by a monarch in 70 years. Calm, deliberate, and measured, Charles reminded the audience that the traditions binding the nation cannot be discarded by those mistaking temporary power for permanent authority. "London belongs to all Britons," he said, voice steady, "not to the ideological whims of any single mayor." Diplomats froze mid-sentence. Aides leaned forward in disbelief, and attempts to soften or revise the speech were overruled by Charles himself. The monarch had drawn a line in the sand, publicly asserting the enduring role of the crown in maintaining constitutional order. Khan's response continued to fan the flames of crisis. In a now-deleted tweet, he attacked the crown, describing it as an institution of inherited wealth and privilege while insisting his accountability was only to the voters who elected him. The tweet went viral before deletion, with screenshots preserved across social media, cementing the perception that Khan was politically reckless and increasingly disconnected from reality. Labour leader Keir Starmer swiftly disavowed Khan's remarks, leaving the mayor isolated as party support evaporated. The economic consequences were immediate. London's financial markets reacted violently to the political instability. The pound dropped 0.3% within minutes, wiping over $1.2 billion off the value of London's financial sector. Analysts began to question the city's viability as a global financial hub if political chaos persisted. Meanwhile, London streets erupted in protest. Tens of thousands marched from Trafalgar Square to Tower Bridge, waving Union Jacks and calling for Khan's resignation. Counter-protests by royalists led to confrontations with police, resulting in dozens of arrests, several officer injuries, and damage to police vehicles. The city had not seen this level of street unrest since the riots of 2011. Inside City Hall, the pressure was relentless. Deputy Mayor Sophie Linden reportedly threatened resignation, declaring that Khan had crossed an irreparable line. Other senior aides described a mayor exhausted, isolated, and obsessively monitoring social media to gauge public sentiment. The revelation of leaked internal emails painted an even more disturbing picture. Khan's team had planned the confrontation deliberately. Strategy meetings suggested that the provocation of the monarchy was intended to galvanize progressive voters, with one strategist writing, "We need a villain. The crown is perfect, unelected, wealthy, traditional, everything our base opposes." Constitutional historians described the emails as one of the most cynical manipulations of public sentiment in decades. The opposition seized the moment with precision. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch launched a relentless media offensive, highlighting surging crime rates, escalating rents, and the mass exodus of businesses, while the mayor attacked the monarchy. Polling quickly reflected the shift in public opinion. Conservative support in London rose from 31% to 42%, overtaking Labour in districts long considered progressive strongholds. For the first time since 2016, the Conservatives led Labour across Greater London, positioning Badenoch as a credible contender for the next mayoral election. The next 72 hours will be decisive. Khan faces 3 critical pressure points: a no-confidence vote where even his own party may turn against him, an emergency parliamentary debate in which Conservative MPs will demand investigation into potential overreach, and mass protests expected to draw more than 100,000 royalists into central London. The stakes are staggering. Britain watches as its capital teeters between the principle that elected leaders should challenge outdated institutions and the belief that the monarchy embodies the continuity and unity of the nation. Not since the abdication crisis of 1936 has royal authority been challenged so directly by an elected official. At the heart of this political storm stands Sadiq Khan, increasingly isolated, desperate, and vulnerable. His career hangs by a thread, as does the delicate balance between elected authority and royal influence. The question confronting the nation is stark and unrelenting. Did Khan commit political suicide by challenging King Charles, or did the monarch overstep by intervening directly in municipal politics?